How to talk in English. Alex often felt a heavy knot of frustration whenever English conversations arose. Despite years of learning grammar and vocabulary, the words stubbornly refused to form coherent sentences. The desire to articulate thoughts fluently burned brightly, yet a daunting wall of shyness and fear of making mistakes always stood in the way, making true progress seem impossible. This struggle was deeply disheartening. One quiet evening, a sudden realization struck Alex. Merely understanding English wasn't enough. Speaking it was the key. Inspired by countless online tutorials about how to talk in English, a bold decision was made. The journey would begin not in a classroom or public forum, but within the safe, familiar confines of their own home, away from judgmental ears. The first brave step involved confronting silence. Alex started by simply describing objects in the room aloud. This is a brown table. It has 4 legs. The lamp is on top. It felt awkward initially, like talking to an invisible friend. This start talking at home strategy, however, slowly began chipping away at the rigid barrier of self-consciousness, building a foundation. Practicing speaking at home offered unparalleled freedom. There was no pressure to impress anyone, no fear of mispronouncing words, just pure, unadulterated exploration of the language. This private sanctuary allowed Alex to experiment with different phrases and intonations without embarrassment. It underscored why you should practice speaking in a low-stakes environment, fostering confidence organically. To make practice more structured, Alex adopted a simple yet powerful routine: talk in English just 1 page per day. This meant reading a page from any English book aloud, focusing intently on rhythm and flow. If no book was handy, even describing daily activities like cooking dinner or watering plants filled the quiet space with English words. The daily page became a ritual, a sacred time for dedicated English talking practice. Alex wasn't just reading. The words were spoken, articulated, and felt. This consistent engagement, even for short bursts, reinforced pronunciation patterns and built a subconscious comfort with the language's sounds. It was truly how to learn English through active, immersive participation. Remembering new vocabulary proved challenging. Alex researched how to remember words and discovered effective techniques. Instead of rote memorization, words were learned in context, often through short sentences or imagined scenarios. Visualization played a crucial role, associating new words with vivid mental images, making them stick much more effectively in long-term memory. Flashcards became indispensable tools, not just for definition but for usage. Alex wrote sentences on them, actively trying to integrate new words into simple, spoken phrases while talking to oneself. This immediate application of fresh vocabulary during How to Talk at Home to Yourself sessions solidified understanding, transforming passive knowledge into usable linguistic assets effortlessly. As weeks turned into months, a subtle but significant shift occurred. The awkwardness of self-talk diminished, replaced by a growing sense of ease. Sentences formed more smoothly, and hesitations became less frequent. Alex was no longer just reading words, they were feeling them, understanding the cadence of natural English conversation more intuitively day by day. The mirror became an unwitting conversation partner. Alex would engage in mock dialogues, practicing introductions, explaining ideas, or even debating imaginary points of view. This English talking practice in front of a reflection allowed for immediate visual feedback on expressions and confidence, honing not just words, but also nonverbal communication skills significantly. This consistent, deliberate effort at home laid an incredibly strong foundation. Alex realized that why you should practice speaking extended beyond just language acquisition. It was about building self-assurance. The private speaking sessions cultivated a deep-seated belief in one's ability to articulate, dissolving the previous walls of anxiety and apprehension gradually. The internal monologue, once dominated by native language, gradually began shifting to English. Thoughts started forming directly in English, eliminating the cumbersome translation process. This pivotal development signaled true immersion and the beginnings of genuine fluency, demonstrating how to improve your fluency from the inside out, naturally and powerfully. The time eventually came to venture beyond the comfort of home. The thought of how to talk with anyone in English still triggered a flutter of nerves, but the daily practice had instilled a newfound courage. Alex decided to start small, perhaps with a friendly cashier or a brief interaction at a local coffee shop, embracing vulnerability. The first real-world conversation was a clumsy dance of broken sentences and fumbled words. Yet, the other person understood, smiled, and responded kindly. This small victory was monumental. It proved that imperfect English was perfectly acceptable for communication, reinforcing that the goal was connection, not flawless articulation. A crucial lesson. Alex then sought out language exchange partners online, connecting with people from various countries. These virtual conversations provided a low-pressure environment to practice how to talk with anyone without the immediate scrutiny of face-to-face interaction. The sheer diversity of accents and speaking styles further enhanced listening comprehension skills. Initial conversations were about simple topics, hobbies, daily routines, favorite foods. The emphasis was on clear, understandable communication, even if sentence structures weren't perfect. This practical application of learned vocabulary and grammar in real-time interactions was invaluable for cementing knowledge and building conversational momentum effectively. Alex focused not just on speaking, but also on active listening. Understanding the nuances of spoken English, recognizing common phrases, and grasping context were just as vital as forming one's own sentences. This holistic approach significantly boosted overall comprehension and made conversations flow more naturally over time. Mistakes were no longer sources of shame, but opportunities for learning. When a word was misused or a sentence constructed awkwardly, Alex would note it mentally, look it up later, and consciously try to correct it in future conversations. This iterative process of self-correction was incredibly powerful for consistent improvement. Engaging in conversations meant continuously expanding vocabulary and practical phrasing. Each new interaction brought fresh words and expressions to light, which Alex diligently added to the learning routine, incorporating them into how to remember words strategies like spaced repetition and self-talk, ensuring they became active vocabulary. The journey from hesitant whispers to confident articulation was a testament to patience and persistence. Alex discovered that how to improve your fluency wasn't about a sudden breakthrough, but a gradual, consistent accretion of small, daily efforts, each contributing significantly to the overarching goal of mastering spoken English. There were still days of frustration, when words felt elusive or progress seemed slow. But the memory of the initial struggles, the first awkward self-talk sessions, served as a powerful reminder of how far Alex had come, reinforcing the why you should practice speaking mantra consistently. Alex started watching English movies without subtitles, gradually understanding more and more. Listening to English podcasts during commutes sharpened the ear for natural speech patterns and colloquialisms. This immersion accelerated the pace of how to learn English by exposing the mind to authentic, everyday language, bridging the gap from textbook to reality. The confidence built from how to talk at home to yourself transitioned seamlessly into public interactions. Alex found joy in spontaneous conversations, whether with strangers in a park or colleagues at work. The fear of judgment had largely evaporated, replaced by an eagerness to communicate and connect authentically. One particularly memorable instance occurred during a travel opportunity. Alex, once terrified of asking for directions, confidently navigated a bustling foreign city, engaging locals in fluent conversation about landmarks and culture. This practical application was the ultimate validation of all the dedicated English talking practice undertaken. The ability to how to talk with anyone transformed Alex's life profoundly. New friendships blossomed, professional opportunities opened up, and the world felt infinitely more accessible. The language barrier, once an insurmountable obstacle, had become a bridge, connecting Alex to diverse perspectives and experiences globally. Alex often reflected on the initial step of start talking at home. That humble beginning, that commitment to talk in English just one page per day, truly paved the way for remarkable achievements. It underscored the profound power of consistent, private practice before venturing into public speaking arenas. The key was consistency, not intensity. Even on busy days, a few minutes of English talking practice were dedicated, perhaps describing what was seen outside the window or narrating simple tasks. This small, daily commitment compounded over time, yielding significant, tangible improvements in overall fluency. How to remember words shifted from structured exercises to organic retention. New words encountered in conversations were naturally absorbed and later recalled, proving the effectiveness of consistent exposure and active use. The brain had become wired for English, making vocabulary acquisition an almost effortless process. Alex became an advocate for active speaking practice. The message was simple: don't wait for perfection, just start speaking. The journey to how to improve your fluency is less about memorizing rules and more about making sounds, making mistakes, and consistently putting oneself out there, vocally. The initial fear of public speaking in English had completely dissipated. Alex could now present ideas confidently, participate in debates, and engage in complex discussions without hesitation. This profound transformation from silent learner to articulate speaker was a testament to sheer perseverance and dedicated practice. Alex understood that why you should practice speaking was about more than just a skill. It was about unlocking a new identity. The confident English speaker was someone who embraced challenges, learned from setbacks, and connected with the world in a richer, more meaningful way than ever before imagined. The journey highlighted that how to learn English effectively involves a multifaceted approach. It combines passive listening, active speaking, strategic vocabulary building, and continuous real-world application. No single method is a magic bullet, but their synergistic combination yields powerful, lasting results for anyone committed to learning. Remembering vocabulary involved creating personal connections with words. Alex would associate new terms with personal experiences or create funny, memorable sentences. This personal touch, far more effective than rote learning, ensured that words truly stuck, becoming readily available for spontaneous conversation and expression. The process of how to talk at home to yourself evolved. It wasn't just descriptive anymore. It became a platform for expressing opinions, analyzing situations, and even journaling thoughts aloud in English, creating a deep linguistic immersion even without external interaction. A powerful self-improvement tool. The concept of talk in English, just one page per day, expanded. Sometimes it was reading a news article, other times a short story, or even song lyrics. The content varied, but the core principle remained: consistent, daily verbal engagement with English material, reinforcing both comprehension and articulation. Alex realized that English talking practice wasn't just about output, it was about embracing imperfection. Every stumble, every mispronounced word was a sign of growth, a step forward. The goal was intelligible communication, not native-level flawlessness, fostering a healthy, sustainable approach to language acquisition. The impact of dedicated self-practice was undeniable. Starting from zero, Alex built a strong foundation. This initial phase, often overlooked, proved to be the most critical in establishing comfort and basic fluency before attempting more complex, how to talk with anyone scenarios confidently. Alex often advised aspiring speakers, don't wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now at home, talking to yourself. This simple yet profound advice encapsulated the essence of starting small and building momentum, emphasizing that everyone can begin their speaking journey immediately. The journey also taught Alex the importance of celebrating small victories. Every successfully completed sentence, every correctly recalled word, was a cause for quiet celebration, reinforcing positive habits and sustaining motivation throughout the long, sometimes challenging, but ultimately rewarding process of language mastery. Alex's story became an inspiring example of how dedication transforms potential into proficiency. It wasn't about innate talent, but about strategic application of simple methods, unwavering consistency, and a persistent willingness to step outside one's comfort zone, one word and one conversation at a time. From hesitant whispers to confident debates, Alex's voice found its strength. The world of English, once a labyrinth of confusion, became a vibrant, accessible playground. This personal transformation underscored why you should practice speaking consistently and with genuine enthusiasm daily. The journey confirmed that how to learn English is an active pursuit. It demands engagement, experimentation, and a readiness to make glorious mistakes. It's not a spectator sport, it's a full-contact immersion, where every spoken word, however imperfect, contributes to eventual fluency and mastery. Remembering words became less about memorization and more about active recall and association. Alex mentally created narratives for new terms, linking them to vivid imagery or personal experiences, ensuring they were embedded deeply within the cognitive framework, readily accessible for natural conversation flow. The shift from how to talk at home to yourself to how to talk with anyone was gradual but inevitable. The internal practice nurtured external confidence. Alex realized that self-talk was not just preparation, it was a fundamental component of the entire fluency-building process, a true catalyst. The consistent talk in English, just 1 page per day, habit proved its worth many times over. It provided a manageable, non-intimidating way to engage with the language daily, ensuring that practice never felt overwhelming or like an insurmountable task, fostering long-term adherence. Alex realized that how to improve your fluency was an ongoing, enjoyable process, not a final destination. There was always more to learn, more nuanced expressions to master, and more fascinating conversations to be had, keeping the journey of linguistic growth exciting and endlessly rewarding. The initial awkwardness of English talking practice transformed into genuine enjoyment. Speaking English became less about a chore and more about an authentic form of self-expression, a powerful tool for navigating the world and connecting with diverse cultures, fostering incredible personal growth. Alex's experience showed that even small, consistent efforts yield tremendous results. The dream of fluent English, once distant, was achieved through dedicated, daily action, proving that commitment is the most potent ingredient in any language learning recipe, leading to profound success. The freedom that came with fluent English was unparalleled. Alex could now travel without apprehension, consume global media effortlessly, and build relationships across borders, demonstrating the vast opportunities unlocked when one truly embraces how to talk in English consistently. Alex often shared the core message: begin with start talking at home. This simple step removes the biggest barrier, the fear of judgment. It cultivates comfort and builds a sturdy base from which to confidently launch into conversations with others, step by methodical step. Every single spoken word, no matter how small or imperfect, contributed to the grand tapestry of fluency. It was a cumulative process, where each syllable articulated solidified the neural pathways, making future speech more automatic and effortless, truly demonstrating linguistic progression. Alex emphasized that the voice is the most powerful tool in language acquisition. Merely reading or listening is passive. True mastery comes from active production, from making sounds, from articulating thoughts, from engaging vocally with the language, building confidence incrementally. The journey was a vivid illustration of why you should practice speaking. It wasn't just about speaking a foreign tongue. It was about expanding horizons, challenging personal limits, and embracing a broader worldview, a true personal and intellectual enrichment. With newfound fluency, the world truly opened up. Conversations with fascinating people, deep dives into foreign cultures, and access to countless resources became daily realities. This transformation highlighted the immense power of consistent English talking practice for life-changing outcomes. So, if you're struggling, remember Alex's journey. Begin today. Talk in English just 1 page per day. Start talking at home to yourself. Practice how to remember words. Soon, you'll discover how to improve your fluency and how to talk with anyone confidently. Your voice matters. Your story deserves to be heard in English. Take that first step, embrace the journey, and watch as your linguistic dreams transform into vibrant reality, opening doors to endless possibilities and connecting you with the global community effortlessly and powerfully.